Progtime, the Layered Reality YouTube show.
Everybody, welcome back. Season 2 of Progtime. You're looking at me in a new location. This is the label stock chamber right here. This is where all the packages are made and everything is being sent, and we made it into a little film setup so we can do more Progtime episodes here, and it also just looks a bit more, consistent for what we wanted to do. So, hi, welcome to the new set. It might smell a bit weird, but that's normal. That's what prog does to stuff. And the first thing I wanted to share, it's the 25th of September right now, which means that yesterday on the 24th, Disconnected Souls released the physical version of their album Fragments of Consciousness right here. This is it. Ooh, it looks so good. So happy about this. To the world through Layered Reality Productions. You can now order your copy through the band and through layeredrealityproductions.com as always. And yeah, we're just very excited to help these guys out. They released a really good record with this one. Like Fragments of Consciousness was already out on digital streaming services. A lot of people really liked it. We liked it. So it was like, what are we going to do? Well, we could sign this band and then help them with this record. And that's what we did. So there's now finally physical copies for all of you to listen to and throw into your CD player or use as coasters. I don't know. I mean, I'm not your mom. I cannot tell you what to do with it. Next up, Layers is returning. I've already recorded the first couple of interviews this week. It's been really, really crazy. And I can say that we got a few Layered Reality people talking about records that they're passionate about, but I've also got some external people that I'm very excited to talk to for Layers. So in that sense, I'm just very happy that the show is returning, and I can't wait to hear what you guys think when you see it, of course. And just the final thing that I wanted to do, I wanted to shout out a few bands that are working on really cool new things which are coming in the coming months. Obviously, we're now at the end of September, but in October, November, December, there's going to be a lot of really cool stuff. And I just wanted to say, check out 7 Station, Apeiron Bound, and Omnirod, because they are doing some really, really cool stuff, and it might be coming sooner than you might think. Oh yeah. That's all for me for the news. We're gonna go to Lauren and James in this episode, who both prepared really, really cool segments for you guys. Professor Owen is not here this time. He had a bit of a hard time getting out of the summer vibe. I think he's still stuck on an island somewhere, desperately shouting for help. And yeah, we probably should save him by now. I think we really should. So anyway, enough from me. Enjoy Lauren and James's segments. Let's go.
Hey everybody, it's Lauren Holly from Layered Reality Productions, and this is season 2 of Progtime. Woo! So, I thought I would try and change things up a bit. Now, last season I decided I would introduce non-progressive metal listeners to progressive bands that I thought they could ease themselves into. This time around, I thought I'd make it a whole lot more difficult for myself and try and find something called PRONK, or progressive punk. I've definitely set a task for myself. However, I have found one band so far, and that is a band that's been around for the last 30 odd years from Kingston upon Thames here in the UK, and that's a band called Cardiacs. This is a band that was formed by 2 brothers, Tim and Jim Smith. Tim being the lead singer, Jim being the bass player. Unfortunately, Tim Smith passed away in 2020. However, he has quite a sustainable legacy behind him. For the past 3 decades, this band, which is obviously a cult band, has influenced some of the new genres that we've got in metal today, including nu metal, math rock, avant-garde. Now, they have a post-punk sound, they have a psychedelic sound, they have synthesizers, they have horns, they have jazz, they have punk, they have everything. It is difficult to find them. They are on YouTube, and the single that really stuck out for me, which was unfortunately their only, I'd say, hit, Is This the Life, which first came out in 1988 on their debut, I guess what you would call debut or EP, and that was A Little Man and a House and the Whole World Window, which my 14-week-old puppy, little Ricky, who's right here, to make his presence known. He is a meathead and a meatball and possibly the cutest thing that ever existed, but is also the reason why I can get sweet all done in my life currently. Some of the artists who have actually been influenced by Cardiacs, it's a pretty good list actually, including the likes of Blur, Mike Patton. This band has toured and shared the stage with likes of Marillion, but also Napalm Death, who are not a progressive metal band. However, I would consider Napalm Death to be progressive in what they say. They've also had an influence on bands like Opeth, Porcupine Tree, and there is a fantastic cover actually on YouTube of one of their own songs, which is called Tarred and Feathered, which features members of Napalm Death, Voivod, and Municipal Waste. So you can see that they have a wide-reaching span in their 3-decade-long career. They have 6 albums out. As I said, it is difficult to find these. YouTube does give you an actually half-decent assortment of stuff to listen to. But they do have a 6th album that is in the works currently that is called LSD. However, it has no release date currently at this point. So, again, I'm probably going to set this task and this bar rather high to try and find anything else at this point that people would consider to be prog. So maybe it's going to be a case of looking for bands that are prog adjacent or have prog leanings in other genres. So, again, welcome to season 2 of Progtime. I'm Lauren Holly, and go listen to them. Have a listen. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. I think you'll either love them or you'll hate them. That seems to be the general consensus when it comes to Cardiacs. Again, see you later. And any ideas, drop them in the comments. Bye.
Hey everybody, James here from Lycanthro once again here on Progtime for Tokyo Tunes, the monthly show where I dive headfirst into the J-metal abyss to escape the crushing reality of regular life. And this month I'll be covering a Japanese band that is on the rise right now, which makes some of the best heavy, proggy power metal that you'll hear out there. I'm of course talking about the badass ladies of Bridear. Bridear are a heavy power metal band that were formed in 2011 in Fukuoka, Japan by lead vocalist Kimi and bassist Haru. The band went through several lineup changes throughout their early tenure until in 2019 they recruited the amazing drum skills of Natsumi and the absolute badass guitar work of Ayumi. And then later in 2022, they recruited the absolute guitar virtuosity of Moe to complete what many fans consider the band's definitive lineup. The band cut their teeth on the Japanese underground metal scene for the better part of a decade until around 2021 when they released the monumental Bloody Bride album. And this was the album that propelled them into the mainstream and international stage. This is also the album where all the subsequent music videos also ended up blowing up online, and the band has been on the rise ever since. And as this is Progtime, I gotta say that Bridear is a band that is definitely not shy to musical experimentation that does lead to a lot of proggy moments in their songs. They combine everything from technical shred to the occasional modulation, breakdowns, odd time signatures, and they know exactly when to bring these elements out in a song. That's what makes their music so interesting to listen to and never boring. The biggest example of this would have to be their monstrous 8-minute epic Brave New World Revisited off their 2022 album Aegis of Athena. This album is definitely a bit more raw than their most previous efforts, but it shows that the band has clearly refined their sound, and it shows this current lineup at its absolute strongest. In terms of my favorite track, I have to give it to the album closer, Die Like This. This epic, fiery conclusion to the album sees vocalist Kimi in an amazing duet with the legendary Nick Knight of Dream Evil. It also does help that Dream Evil guitar player Fredrik Nordstrom was also the one that produced the album, and you can definitely hear the influence on there. Anyway, that does it for this episode of Tokyo Tunes here on Progtime on the Layered Reality YouTube page. Give us a subscribe for more proggy goodness. Thank you all, and stay metal, my friends.